burning brighter somewhere. Got to be birds flying higher in a sky more blue.
Good morning. Welcome to Right Thinking with Steve Copeland. I'm your host, Steve Copeland, and thank you for tuning in. Let's have a great day. Good morning, everybody. I hope that everybody is having as beautiful a day as I am already. Last night I went to bed reading Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. I've been reading that book for 45 years, and I want to share some things that I've been involved in lately that relate to being more positive and being able to navigate through life in a very good way. But before I get started, I just want to say last week's show with Leffert Fate has changed my life. I met Leffert as I described on the show, and I called him up after the show to give him a heartfelt, sincere, loving thank you. There's a lot of people out there that say they want to change the world and do good things and serve others. Well, Leffert Fate does that, and that's what I told him. And it's beautiful because he thanked me for acknowledging that to him. And he said that we're gonna get it done, Steve. What is it that we're going to get done? We're going to be here for everyone that we possibly can to help have a better life. That's simply what we're here to do. And I have been so blessed with so many people that are there for me. And so today is just so special because Don Green, the executive director of the Napoleon Hill Foundation, he is going to be on the show today, but we're going to do it a little different. The technology that we're doing through Chuck Christie, producing the show that we send on down to Talk Network Radio, he's getting more of the technology online for the show. And so in about 10 or 15 minutes, Don's going to call in, and he is incredibly busy. And I have to tell you that I am one honored person. I'll call Don up, and he'll get on the phone and say, well, Steve, I'm not taking any calls right now, but I saw that it was you, so I wanted to just to give you a few minutes here before I have to take this next call. I'm preparing for a call. Well, I love it that people treat me that way, especially Don. And so he's going to call in, and he said he couldn't do the full hour show today. He could only do 30 minutes, so at 15 minutes into the show, he's going to call in, and then he'll talk for about 30 minutes. But what we're going to talk about today is Napoleon Hill's philosophy, one of the principles of success, called going the extra mile. It's one of my favorite parts of Napoleon Hill thinking. My favorite of them all, I believe, is the mastermind group, where you surround yourself with people that are good people, that come together for a common goal in a harmonious way. Go back to the show that we did back in April, I think it was. Don was the guest there, and we spent a whole show just on the mastermind group. And then the first show that Don did was just introducing Don and telling stories about Napoleon Hill and so forth. And Don wrote a book called Everything I Know About Success I Learned from Napoleon Hill, Essential Lessons for Using the Power of Positive Thinking. And that book is phenomenal. I also have it on audio, and I keep it in the car sometimes. I think I've listened to it 6 times all the way through now. And it's just like reading a book like the Bible. Every time you read it, depending on where you are at that moment in your journey, you will hear things and understand things that you maybe weren't ready to understand or comprehend earlier in your life. That's the benefit of reading good books over and over again. You see things, it gets deeper. Well, as you can tell, I'm pretty hyped up. I got a lot of energy this morning because I'm just so excited. And let me tell you something about why I'm so excited. First of all, it's that the mastermind concept in my life keeps opening up more and more and more doors that you never know really what's in front of you in life sometimes. But as I've quoted before, I went to a Joyce Meyer seminar, a conference they call it, with my wife a couple months ago. And the main point that I took out of there that I just love the way she said it was, sometimes in life when you don't really know what to do, just keep doing what you're already doing that you know is right. Listeners, I want to share this with you. I know that what I'm doing is right because the Lord told me to do this. He wants me to go out and help people that are struggling and going through hardship have a better chance to succeed in life. In order to succeed in life, though, you have to set goals. You have to know your purpose. And this is what all the shows are about, and I have wonderful guests. So before I go on to talking about Don Green and today's show a little more, I'll go back to signing off with Leffert. Leffert, you are an amazing person, and thank you for welcoming me into your life. And just like you said, we're going to get it done. So Leffert, I hope that everybody goes back and learns something from what you brought forth with your beautiful attitude and spirit and what you're doing. So that's last week's show. For those of you who haven't listened it, www.rightthink.org. Go to the archives and pick any show you want, and just keep listening. And thank you for all your wonderful comments. Okay, well, today's subject, going the extra mile. After Don did his second interview with me, we decided that the next time we talk, we're going to talk about going the extra mile. And so I'm going to go ahead and do what I like to do, which you know is coming. I had my wife help do some scriptural Bible research today, and we've got some Bible verses here that are going to set the tone a little bit. Now, I'm not going to teach these verses. I'm just going to read them, present them, and let you know this. If there's anything in these verses that you want more of, there's a book that's right there that's available to you. You can get it in any hotel you want. It's called the Bible. And so let me tell you a couple of verses here that you can follow up on. Matthew chapter 5, verse 41. And if anyone forces you to go 1 mile, go with him 2 miles. That's pretty straightforward. Here's another beautiful verse. It's another one from Matthew chapter 7, verse 14. For the gate is narrow, and the way is hard that leads to life, and those who find it are few. I'll just give a little bit of insight from me on that. It's not always obvious what you're supposed to do. You have to go that extra distance. You have to put a little more effort. You have to put more time dedicated to seeking what it is that is supposed to be here, seeking the truth. Okay, 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verses 24 through 27. I might not read all the way through 27. My wife, when she read this, she says, this one's really perfect, but it gets really, really deep, so let's just see what it is. Do you not know that in a race all the runners run, but only one receives the prize? So run that you may obtain it. Every athlete exercises self-control in all things. They do it to receive a perishable wreath, but we are imperishable. So I do not run aimlessly. I do not box as one beating the air, but I discipline my body and keep it under control, lest after preaching to others, I myself should be disqualified. What I glean out of that is there's something much more eternal that's there. And we can run races to win trophies and fights and tournaments to win medals. But when it comes right down to it, the real race that we're running is to please the Lord and go to eternity with the Lord eventually. But let's have it here now, and remember this. 2 weeks ago, on September the 6th, I think it was, the 5th, my guest was Willie Butler, and the whole show was dedicated to kingdom living. So I encourage you to go back and check that show. So the next one that I want to share with you is James chapter 4, verse 17. So whoever knows the right thing to do and fails to do it, for him it is sin. Wow. You know, for those of you that are just living from day to day, struggling, trying to get through, thinking about your own needs, hey, I've been there too. You know, we got to eat. We've got to take care of things. But part of the Napoleon Hill philosophy is it's based on the Bible, put others before yourself. If you have an opportunity to do something for someone, go all the way. Go that extra mile and do it joyously. Do it with a cheerful attitude. So these are very, very important. So in a few minutes, Don's going to be calling in, and I think we're pretty much ready to receive Don in a minute here. So let me speak of a couple more things that I can do as we wait for Don to get on. Right now, in my life, there's a lot of uncertainty, and that's part of the connection that I hope that I have with each of you that listen, is that you can look at me as somewhat of an example that a person that is going through some difficult times, health, finances, whatever, but not relationships. I have just the most beautiful relationships with my wife and with partners and friends and students and teachers and mentors. I am so blessed that I am one of those people that I like to do for others, and I don't worry about it, and good things take place. I think Don's on the line now. Don, are you there?
Yes, good morning, Steve. How are you today?
Don, I'm doing great. I'm excited like I always am, and one of the main reasons is because you're my guest again today. I just love it when you make time for us. I've already told everybody before you came onto the call just how extremely busy you are, and so I just want to thank you again for fitting me in, and I really want to thank you too, though, for the networking that you're helping me do. I've explained before how the mastermind group works and referenced the show that you and I did, but you sent materials about me to Tom Too Tall Cunningham, one of your certified instructors, the Napoleon Hill certified instructor, and he bills himself as the world's greatest certified instructor. That's quite a title he's got. I hope that you like that he gives himself the title. But he had Gary Burleson, another certified instructor that's in Tennessee, who is involved in the Focus prison ministry down there. He had him interview me for his show, Journey to Success, instead of himself. Tom wanted Gary to interview me because he's got 7 years already in prisons. And we did the interview on Friday last week. And actually, by the time they hear this show, it'll have been a little longer. But I just want to thank you for how you've networked me with people and how supporting me like that is the secret to success. It's your association. So, Don, thank you for that, and let me just give that website. Anybody that wants to hear me being interviewed on Journey to Success, the website is www.tom, the numeric 2, tall.com/Steve-Copeland. So that's tom2tall.com/Steve-Copeland. And if you do that, you'll go right to Journey to Success. And they've got about 400 interviews posted up there, world-class people. I mean, I am so honored to be in that type of company. So, Don, thank you for that. And we're going to talk today about the principle of going the extra mile. And I found a book on the Amazon. It's Napoleon Hill Certified Instructors and Students, Tom Too Tall Cunningham presents Going the Extra Mile, a #1 international bestseller. And I'm going to lead into you